How would you feel if you were part of a team that helps to fix people? The reality of life is that bad things sometimes happen. People fall over, they have accidents, they can break bones. Sadly, sometimes people develop cancer. People can have burns, and the list can go on with things that can go wrong for people, sadly. And sometimes, not everything is fixable, really, but some things are, and some of those things require a surgery in a hospital, and that occurs in theatres. And so that, again, my question to you is, how would you feel if you were part of a team that's helping people to live a better standard of living? Like someone's broken their arm and they've broken the shoulder, for example, and they need a shoulder replacement, and that's going to have to happen in the theatre, and you could be part of that team. So how would you feel about that? Journey began in 2018 as a student nurse. I was working on a ward. If I'm completely honest, I wasn't really enjoying it, but I was just getting through it. But my saving grace was I had one day in the theatres, and I found it really interesting. I was just watching. I think the first day involved me. Everyone was really nice to me, and I just remember just being watching hip and knee replacements occur, and I found it fascinating, and it inspired me to become a scrub nurse for when I qualified. It actually got me through my student nursing experience. Common misconception about being a scrub nurse is that we simply just pass the instruments to the surgeon. Well, that is true. We do perform that task, but there's a lot more to the role than just that. It is quite a complex role that includes setting up the operating room, making sure all the correct equipment is in there. We've got to know how to use that equipment, ensure that it's working. Also maintaining sterility, making sure that the sets are all sterile. It's a big deal, because if that's contaminated, then that could lead to an infection, especially when it's like involving bones and things like that. And we've got to do a thorough instrument checks. We've got to make sure that the checks are okay, and we've got to, and basically we're ensuring patient safety throughout that. We're actively involved in the surgical process, not just on the assisting side, not just passing instruments. There's much more to it, and the operating room, theatres can be really high pressured environments. You really do feel it sometimes. You've got to be quick on your feet, so you need quick decision making, precision with attention to a detail is essential, and making that scrub nurse role demanding at times. Let's get into it. I'm going to list the 10 reasons why I became a scrub nurse. So starting with number 1, I find the job is really interesting, and there's so many different types of procedures. So I'm not even going to name them all now. Orthopedics on its own is a speciality, and you've got hips and knees, you've got hands, you've got feet, you've got shoulders, you've got orthopedic spine, you've got major trauma. That's just orthopedics. Then you've got potentially urology. You've got vascular, veins. You've got ophthalmics, eyes. You've got neurology, should I say. So that's the spine as well. And it could be the cranium, the brain. What else is there? There's so many, sorry. There's ENT, ear, nose and throat, colorectal, plastics, which is vast. Plastics can be anywhere on the body. And there's more. There's a lot more than that. So it keeps you interested. If you're moving around, if you're working at a bigger hospital, for example, which I am, like a medium-sized one I'm at, I have got the opportunity to go to all these different types of surgeries, and it keeps me interested. There's so much to learn, and that's my number 1 reason why I became a nurse. To number 2, the second reason, it's the reality is you're going to be working with a lot of consultants, and a consultant is like a top tier doctor, and they're experts in specific procedures. So they'll be experts at what they do. You'll have a hip and knee consultant, you'll have a different hand consultant. The list goes on and on. A lot of these consultants don't cover everything. They're very specific about what they do, but they're great at what they do. And also you're working alongside anaesthetists as well. So to me, I just see them as, they're a lot more intelligent than I am, I've got to be honest. But I like that. I don't want to be the smartest person in the room because I'm not going to learn anything. And you're working alongside these people most of the time. And I find that inspiring, and you can learn so much from them. So that's reason number 2. Number 3 is you're helping, this maybe should be number 1. You're helping to fix people. I forget this sometimes because I do it all the time. I'm doing it all day. Scrub nurse every day. People come in and out all day, but you're actually helping you're making people's lives better. Someone might have broken their hip. They can't walk. They're in a lot of pain. And there's very vastly reduced mobility issues, and they've had a hip replacement, and you've been part of that team to help that person, to, let's say, fix that person. And I find I think that's a great thing. I gather a lot of meaning from that, and that could be anybody. It could be your mum, your dad, yourself, your friends, or whatever that require that operation, and you're helping people live better lives, which I think is really positive. Number 4, especially for myself, I'm a very adaptable team member, so I move around. I'm in a different theatre every day. Not everybody does that, but I do personally, and I just find it provides never-ending learning opportunities and exposure to so many different procedures for myself individually, and I love that. So that's reason number 4. Reason number 5, career advancement opportunities if you want that. So currently I'm a band 5. If I put my mind to it, I could potentially become a band 6, band 7, or a band 8, maybe. There's opportunities to become a surgical first assistant. You can learn how to suture potentially, which is, sorry to layman's terms, is like sewing up somebody's skin, but there's a skill in that. You could potentially learn to do that. You could become a surgical care practitioner, which is an abbreviation for that is an SCP, which basically means you'll be supporting the surgeon. So you'll be working on the ward and on the and in the theatre. And also there's another one. You could become a rep, and reps are what are reps? Sorry. Sometimes, say if you've got a spinal surgery, spinal surgeries require different instruments. And they bring in the instruments, and they're experts on these instruments because these are very particular instruments, by the way. And they help coach and teach the surgeons and the scrub nurses. So that's reason number 5. 6 is a very specialised career path. Not many people can do it. You couldn't get, like, full respect to nurses on the wards, for example, and other nurses out there. But if you're a ward nurse, you could not come to theatre and be part of the team effectively because you wouldn't know what to do. It's such a different environment. So theatres alone are specialised. And then once you get into like orthopaedics, hips and knees, it's like a speciality within a speciality. So it's like a very niche thing to do. Not many people can do it. And it does take time to learn it as well. It's not that straightforward, depending on what you're doing. So that's reason number 6. To reason number 7, you're going to be developing very high technical skills. And it requires sometimes meticulous attention to detail and learning the dexterity and the ability to assemble these instruments. It's not always straightforward. Honestly, people underestimate it sometimes. And you end up with some very advanced technical skills, which I think is amazing. So that's reason number 7. Number 8. If you do have an health issue, you're surrounded by anaesthetists and surgeons who are really intelligent, have vast amount. There's lots of them everywhere, honestly, and they've got a wealth of experience and knowledge. And if you've got a health issue, one of them is going to know, it's going to help you big time, really going to help you. They can, if you just ask for some help, and they'll give you advice, or they'll point you in the direction, or recommend how to get a referral, that kind of thing. You're surrounded by a lot of intelligent people, and I think that's amazing. And it's good to have if you do end up with a health issue. So that's reason number 8. Reason number 9. So I work for the NHS, and potentially if I need it, I've got sick pay. It keeps the wolves at bay. If you are to fall ill, touch wood, that never happens. But you've got it, because a lot of jobs don't even have that. There's a lot of there's job stability as well. There's always work. There's always going to be people that require surgery, and it's always going to need skilled workers to help perform those tasks on those surgical teams. And what else is there? That's it. The pay is decent, let's say. The pay's not amazing, let's not lie. Could it be better? Yes. But let's say it's okay, it's decent. So that's reason number 9. Reason number 10, I found it's helped me to overcome challenge. I've been overcoming challenging tasks whilst in the theatre, because things don't always go to plan. Sometimes you might have a hole in a set, and that means it's contaminated, meaning you can't use that set. So what do? You're thinking, oh God, we've only got one of these sets, and if we don't have this set, the operation is cancelled, which happens sometimes, sadly. But sometimes you've got to think on your feet. Can we get another one? Can we call another hospital to get one to bring a set in on a taxi, or have we got those instruments somewhere else? There's challenges that occur. Sometimes the machinery doesn't work, so you have to get one from somewhere else. Sometimes you have staff sickness, and then the skill mix isn't good, because let's say each discipline, let's say orthopedics or whatever it is, hips and knees, not everybody can do the same job. Not every scrub nurse is the same. You've got to know what you're doing to be on that team, otherwise it's not going to work well. So I think that helps you with problem solving skills, helps build up your resilience. You need resilience to be in there, but it's helped me to become stronger, really, a stronger person, better at managing stress. So that's the last reason number 10. To conclude, would you like to be part of a team that helps to fix people, making people's lives better? You'll be surrounded by surgeons and anaesthetists, experts in the field. You're going to be developing yourself into a very specialised, technically skilled practitioner. You have constant learning opportunities and a vast amount of challenges that will keep you interested and intrigued. Some reasons why I became a scrub nurse. You're not all going to agree with me, which is fine. Please comment below. Does anyone disagree? Has anyone had any different experiences? Again, comment below. And if you do like the video, please like, and if you can, subscribe, because I'm going to be bringing out more content in the future. So the next video, which is just here, is going to be about 10 challenges about working in theatres, because it's not all perfect, if I'm completely honest.